Welcome everyone. I am back from BlizzCon. We're recording a video live on stream. Say hi to the people on YouTube, say hi to the people on Twitch. Go back and forth. We're all family, okay? Once again, I got invited by Blizzard to go to BlizzCon, hang out there, you know, see their new announcements and everything they have. And I've been there from 31st to 3rd. And, well, now I'm back home. I wanted to talk about everything at BlizzCon, like from the game trailers to my opinion to my impressions and so on and so forth. So, let's get started. So, first thing I'll talk about is my impression. So, the trip was long as hell. It took me a total of like 29-30 hours to get there. I was dead tired. I arrived at hotel and I was like, I'm just gonna like take a shower and go to bed. But they called me like, hey, let's, you know, people called me, let's go hang out, let's go meet up. And I was like, sure. So we went to like one of the hotel bars and I met a lot of people that I've known for years. I just never met them in real life. For example, I knew Artosis for 6-7 years now. And this is the first time I met him because a lot of these people that I met for the first time now, you know, they're either from like NA or living in Korea or Australia. And whenever I would go to events as a pro player, you know, I would mostly go in Europe, sometimes NA, but usually when you go to a tournament, you know, casters are usually busy casting, YouTubers are doing their own thing, or content creators, whatever you want to call them. And then pro players are doing, you know, their own thing. So I had kind of most connection with, you know, pro players in the past. So a lot of these, you know, guys in the StarCraft 2 community I've just never met. So it was basically a bunch of us. It was the first that night. We were just hanging out, talking, catching up. You know, it was basically all the casters, you know, Artosis, Tasteless, Roddy, Pig, Maynard, Zombie Grub was there, Livy was there, Fear Dragon. I'm probably gonna miss some people, but basically everyone that you know from StarCraft community. Lowko was there, Winter was there. You know, we gathered and we just kind of talked about StarCraft and you know, kind of caught up with what's been happening. Talk about, you know, BlizzCon, what's gonna happen, round and bait. It's just kind of like a bunch of you know, nerds talking about things they love, right? From the people that I've met for the first time, a lot of them are kind of like how I thought, you know, they would be. They weren't any different. Tasteless, I gotta say, was way friendlier than I thought he would be. Like, I've never met Tasteless, and Tasteless is not the kind of guy to, you know, he's not watching every tournament. Like, he loves StarCraft, he casts StarCraft, but, you know, he's not as passionate as Artosis. So, I'm pretty sure Tasteless still has no idea who I am. And, you know, he was just very open. He was just talking to everyone, being super friendly. The moment I arrived, I ordered a drink. He spilled it straight away. So then I was just memeing him whole night, you know. Every time I would get a drink, I would, like, remove it or like, move it away from him and stuff like that. So, yeah. I met Maynard for the first time as well. Talked a bunch with Artosis about, like, the RTS games in general, about StarCraft, YouTube, and stuff like that. Maynard, I've been on a couple of panel shows with him before. I casted with him, so and we chat a little bit online, but other than that, not much. But we actually, like, you know, had really good talks, really good time, and yeah. So I'm not gonna go through each individual person, but you know, it was a lot of fun. It was a blast, and I stayed from like 7 to like 11:30. I was like one of the last people to leave, and oh yeah, Rifkin was there as well. Dare's base trade admin, and he does the WCS now as well, adminning, and I'm probably missing a lot of people, but you know. So I went to bed and I figured I'm gonna fall asleep and I'm gonna just wake up in the morning and be fine, but for some reason I had a hard time sleeping. But anyway, I wake up in the morning at 7, you know, take a shower, grab some, I went for the breakfast at the hotel, and then I went to BlizzCon. So for the first time, I went to, okay, let me ban this one guy. Okay, so for the first time I went to BlizzCon. This was my first BlizzCon event. And by the way, as I was arriving, you know, at my hotel, I was like, wait, this place looks familiar. And then I realized I've been at MLG Anaheim like in 2012, so it's the same convention center, but obviously I've never been to BlizzCon, which is kind of like different experience. So yeah, I arrived, at BlizzCon. We went all together, people from Blizzard and casters and stuff to go through security so we wouldn't have to wait in line, because there's like a press area line where you can pass through. And the amount of people that were there is gigantic. Like just insane amounts of people. BlizzCon is huge. So, it was all these like posters for, StarCraft, WoW, Diablo. And the first thing that caught my eye was when we entered, it said something along the lines of this year's BlizzCon content is not appropriate for children under the age of whatever it was, 13 or 16. And I was like, oh man, this has to be Diablo, this has to be it. They're probably like, there's some blood in the trailer or something like that, because, they had that. The first day I was hanging out a lot with DeMusliM and Lowko. So I talked to DeMusliM at the event. I met him at the hotel, and I literally told him, I was like, listen, I'm not mad at you. I'm not angry at you. What you did was fucked up. I told him my point of view. He gave me his point of view. Yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna go into details, but we made up. I hung out a bunch with DeMusliM. We talked a fuck ton about WoW. But the first day I spent a lot with Lowko and DeMusliM, and later on we met up with Winter, and we watched WCS and stuff like that. What happened? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Forget about it. We met up, and then we watched StarCraft in the arena, which, by the way, arena was really cool. It's like the the way to do sports events. Like, the games are in the middle, and then you have the 4 screens for each side, and you sit down and, yada yada. So that little arena was pretty cool. It was whole day for StarCraft 2. So that was pretty nice. We watched games, and I was pretty sure we're going to have 4 Zergs in the semifinals. But, yeah, we had classic advance. As the evening was approaching, pretty much the whole first day at BlizzCon, I was just watching StarCraft, and I was just doing StarCraft 2 things, meeting StarCraft 2 people, talking about StarCraft, watching StarCraft, because the, whole WCS BlizzCon playoff was on the first day, which was on Friday. So around 7-8 p.m. in the evening, I was sitting, at the arena watching, and 4 or 5 guys come behind me. Not that kind of situation. They come behind me, and one of them said, "Are you Beastyqt?" And I said, "Yes." And I saw them all wearing the same t-shirts, blue ones. And I see it says DeepMind. And they're like, "Oh, we're from DeepMind, and we want to talk to you," and stuff like that. So, I met them. They're a cool bunch of people, very hardworking on the AlphaStar project, and we talked a lot. They told me that there's quite a few fans of my stream and my YouTube at DeepMind, that they watch my stream, and every time I did whatever that had to do with AlphaStar, they watched, and they were laughing, and I was like, man, if you were watching, you heard me say, "Let me play against AlphaStar," and they started laughing, and they're like, "Yeah, we did, but we couldn't," and stuff like that. So they said that they also wanted me to play AlphaStar quite a bit, but it just kind of didn't happen. So another cool thing that happened is, we discussed a bunch of AlphaStar while watching BlizzCon. So I asked them, and they also were trolling me about the 2 games that I played against AlphaStar, if you guys remember. One of them I left, and the second one I did a 2-minute cannon rush because I was tilted from playing PvPs all day. And they were trolling me about that, and I was like, yeah, I know. When I saw later, I was not happy, because they were watching AlphaStar play live. So whenever AlphaStar was queued, they were watching it physically. They didn't do anything, they just watched it play. And they would open like streamers' point of view to see how they're reacting, how they're playing, and stuff like that. So I actually asked them, I was like, I didn't know, and someone brought it up in my chat, if I'm random, can I actually play against AlphaStar? And I told them you know, since the beginning, I've kind of just picked race because I wasn't sure if I would get matched against AlphaStar. Like, I didn't know if AlphaStar would leave, you know, how it was done. And they actually told me that they didn't plan to make it so that AlphaStar can... Stream's dying? Hello, hello? Is it lagging? Okay. Boys, I have no idea. I'm gonna try to keep track of this. So, for you guys watching on YouTube, I'm very aware. I know a lot of people have been saying on YouTube that sometimes this happens. I am aware my stream drops in quality. I don't know what it is. My internet's fine. Now it's fine. I haven't done anything and now it's fixed. So I know previously it was laggy. I'll just continue from here and I hope it's fine. And I'm gonna try to contact Twitch after this stream and try to figure it out. So, technical issues. So anyway, I'm just gonna continue with the story. Where was I? DeepMind. Oh yeah, I asked DeepMind. I said basically I didn't know if I could, you know, play against DeepMind because I played random, and they told me that initially DeepMind was like probably supposed to leave the games against random because it required basically an extra matchup. But because they wanted to see AlphaStar play against me, and there were like pretty much no other randoms, they said there's only me and Alex that play random. And they were like, well, because you played random, we made it so that if it plays random, it, you know, reacts certain way or it scouts earlier. And I was like, damn, impacting the AlphaStar right there. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, we talked a bunch, and at that point I didn't even know, but AlphaStar had their own setup at BlizzCon, and you could play against AlphaStar live if you wanted to. And I was like, oh really? And they're like, yeah, you should come and play if you want. And I'm like, great, I definitely will. And it was like 9 at that point because we talked for quite a bit. And I was like, yeah, tomorrow, you know, I'm pretty tired now, but tomorrow I'll come and, you know, I'll play against AlphaStar, and it should be a lot of fun. I told him I always wanted to play against AlphaStar, and I always wanted to, you know, see how it is. So we continued watching, and it was Lowko, myself, and an Australian mate. I was absolutely fine whole day, you know, I was normal. I didn't even drink coffee, I was fine. And then I fell asleep while watching ZVZ finals. Wow, I'm not even memeing, I actually fell asleep. So, but it wasn't one of those falling asleep like, you know, slowly. I literally fell asleep while sitting, no joke. And Lowko was laughing at me. Lowko was taking pictures of me. And I don't mean Lowko, the moderator in my stream. I mean Lowko, the YouTuber, the streamer. And I would like it, but basically for me, I would be like, I would just blink, and then I would wake up, and then I would see like it's a second game, and then I would fall asleep, and then I would wake up, and I see it's like 10 minutes into the game. It was like that. So this happened before the finals started, into the finals for about an hour. And at one point, I just got up. It was like game number 3, and I started to feel so cold as well. It was like game number 3 in the finals, and I got up and I was like, guys, I'm going to sleep. Like, I'm done. Like, the jet lag hit me so hard that I just couldn't stay up. And I was like, I'm going to bed. That's it. So I went to a hotel, fell asleep instantly. I didn't go out that evening because I was dead. Then the next day is when the juicy stuff begins. Same thing, same routine, went to BlizzCon on Saturday, and at that point StarCraft 2 was done completely, and I just kind of had a whole day to do whatever I wanted and, you know, spend time however I wanted at BlizzCon. So I watched Pylon Show live with DeepMind guys, and then I went to play against AlphaStar. Now, I'm not going to talk about this too much right now, because after this we're going to watch some AlphaStar versus me matches from BlizzCon. So I'll give you guys all the details there. But yeah, I spent about 4 or 5 hours playing against AlphaStar. It was a bunch of fun. And like I said, I'll give you guys more details later. Oh, obviously the first day, you know, I was watching the opening ceremony, and I was watching all the trailers, which I'm going to talk about soon. And that's it. Other than that, we were hanging out. We had like a little meet and greet there at BlizzCon with all the casters, commentators, YouTubers, and just fans. A funny thing, people did not recognize me at all because I didn't have my glasses. So I was wearing my contacts and I didn't have a headset, obviously. So a lot of people didn't recognize me, which I thought was really funny. But basically what happened, I think my stream is going to start low quality again. But basically what happened, just as the story is about to get super juicy. Oh, never mind, it's looking good again. On the second, no, it was on the first day. So on the first day, a guy approaches DeMusliM and I, and because we were standing waiting to go to the BlizzCon, and the guy approaches him, I was like, dude, I love your stream. I'm, big fan. He's like, can I take a picture with you? And DeMusliM was like, sure. So he gives me the phone, and at that point, if the guy doesn't know who I am, that's fine. So I take a picture of two of them. I'm like, I took a couple, just to make sure you got the right one. He's like, yeah, thank you. So we are walking to BlizzCon. It's like, dude, DeMusliM, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Dude, I love your stream. Yada yada. So we walk into the event. And that's it. I saw that as, the guy knew DeMusliM didn't know me. That's it. One of the Twitch staff that works and kind of overlooks on StarCraft 2 streams and stuff, he sees DeMusliM, Lowko, and I a bit later walking, and he catches up with us. And he's like, hey, guys, I watch your streams all the time. Can I take a picture with you guys? And we're like, yeah, sure. So he takes a picture. We talk with him a little bit. So he tweets the picture. He tags DeMusliM, Lowko, and I, and he's like, just met these guys at the beginning of BlizzCon. So the guy that asked me to take a picture with DeMusliM replies to that tweet and says, what the fuck? That was Beastyqt? With question mark? And I give a heart to the tweet. And then he's like, man, so sorry I didn't recognize it was you. You had no glasses and I didn't know it was you. If I meet you again, you please take a picture, I'm sorry. And I'm like, it's fine, dude, don't worry about it, So this was on Friday. So on Saturday, as I'm waiting at the AlphaStar place to play, he's literally in front of me. And I'm talking to two guys behind me, and I tell them the story. I'm like, you see this guy in front of me? And they're like, yeah. So I tell them the story, and they laugh. So I'm standing next to the guy, and he's taking a video of something. I'm here next to him, and I'm like, hey, if you want me to... Oh no, it's lagging again. No! Bruh. Ah, man. Audio's okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna just keep going. I don't know what's going on. I'm checking my internet. It is fine. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's Twitch. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna contact Twitch. I think the audio is fine and the quality is terrible. I think that's what's happening right now. Basically, the guy's in front of me, and he's taking a video of something. I don't know, and I was like, "Do you want me to take a picture?" And he turns around and he looks at me and he's like, "Beastie," and I'm like, and I start laughing, and he's like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't know." And he's like, "Can we take a picture?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So, yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. It was a funny, good moment. Okay, man, I'm so tilted. What are you tilted on? The internet, the stream, I don't know which one it is, but it's not working properly. Okay, it's looking fine now. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Okay, it's looking fine right now. Okay, whatever. Like I said, so the guy was there, and I asked him if you want me to take a picture, and he apologized. We laughed and all that. That's pretty much it from the top of my head. There's probably more things that happened, during BlizzCon, funny stories, but that's kind of what I remember, and I don't want to go, rant about it too much. Let's talk about the announcements at BlizzCon. So I don't know how many other games you guys play. But like I said, I watched all the announcements, all the news, all the new things that are going to be happening. So I figured, I might as well talk about it, bring it up, and kind of discuss it from my point of view. So first thing, the crowd and myself, we were very, very excited for Diablo 4 trailer. I thought it was really well done. I thought that that was probably the best announcement at this BlizzCon. People love the trailer, people are very, very excited. I did play a little bit of Diablo 3, maybe I played it for a month. I never played Diablo 1 or 2, but I definitely will be playing Diablo 4 because it looks really cool. They also showed the gameplay, and I saw people play Diablo 4. We had a press area where we could play as well, but it was like always people were playing, especially people that are like from Diablo community, because they were like, I guess, making notes, videos for it. But I didn't get the chance to play it. I did watch people play it though. It looks really smooth. It's obviously very early version, and I saw some people complain about, oh, you know, this is very similar to Diablo 3, but they don't realize that Diablo 4 is a long way away, and they're probably going to make it even better. And from the gameplay that I've seen, for me, Druid looks really cool. So if I were to play Diablo 4, I would probably play Druid or Barbarian. I kind of thought the Sorcerers looked kind of like, meh. Didn't look too exciting for me. So yeah, Diablo 4 looks really cool, and like I said, I'm excited for it. Overwatch 2 had an announcement. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's basically Overwatch 2 PvE, and it's just like, I don't know. People were like super excited there, but it's like, I feel like BlizzCon probably has casual players the most, I would say. Because Overwatch 2 is literally just PvE. You know, they're adding co-op. That's it. Like, yeah, they're adding like a new hero or two or whatever, but at the end of the day, you know, you don't necessarily need it. So it's just kind of a DLC, which, you know, the trailer, people complain about it. I thought the trailer was okay. I'm not too much into Overwatch. I kind of saw some trailers, but, you know, whatever. The trailer quality is good, and obviously Blizzard is putting you know, a lot of money and effort into Overwatch 2. How was the StarCraft 2 Summit? Yeah, I can't really talk about that. The next thing is they announced the WoW Classic PvP. It's happening in like 9 days, Phase 2, which was pretty cool. A lot of people were very, very excited. A lot of people loved Classic there. You know, the one thing I really enjoyed about BlizzCon and their announcements is I feel like every time they did an announcement, the people talking, whether they're developers or CEO, were like trolling themselves as Blizzard, but also trolling the audiences, which I thought was pretty funny. You know, I feel like companies these days are extremely serious, so it's very nice to see that kind of like, you know, just memeing back and forth and, you know, admitting their mistakes with you think you do, but you do, what the guy said about, you know, WoW Classic. The next thing they announced was, what was it? WoW Shadowlands. Oh, WoW Shadowlands probably had the most, like, reaction. So for those who don't play WoW, I mean, this is going to be hard to explain, so never mind. So basically when, you know, spoilers, when Sylvanas went to the Frozen Throne to, in the Icecrown Citadel to, you know, beat up, the Lich King, everyone was like watching, and it was like silence when they were fighting and stuff like that. So when Sylvanas was like, you are not fit to wear this crown, and she rips it off his face, and you know, he says like, that crown will be your prison, which, you know, meaning that she's gonna put it on, because that's what like the, you know, the Bulwark thought. And then she takes the mask and puts it like this, and everyone's like, oh, like thinking that Sylvanas is gonna be the next Lich King. And then she rips it in half, and people were like, you know, they were like, everyone was like shocked there that happened. And then yeah, everyone got debated like super hard. And then like the, you know, the sky just like open and there's fire everywhere. So I thought that moment was really cool, and I thought that Diablo trailer was really cool. But that specific moment regarding announcements and trailers was probably the coolest one, and kind of like the most unexpected for all the people. Okay, so one thing that I found really weird. So you guys know probably that auto chess has been very popular recently, like very, very popular. And we kind of had suspicion that Blizzard will be releasing auto chess, and I thought some kind of auto chess with all Blizzard games would be pretty cool. Because one season can be like WoW, second season can be Diablo, third season can be StarCraft, and you know, they can kind of mix it up. And I personally thought that's what they're gonna do, but they just kind of announced auto chess in Hearthstone as just a game mod, which I don't know how I felt about that. It feels a bit weird because auto chess, I mean, maybe it got really big and maybe they had plans to make their own standalone game, but auto chesses are, you know, they're still popular, but not as much anymore. Maybe Blizzard didn't want to invest time and money into making a whole different game for a genre that I don't think is gonna remain like or stay number one or be extremely popular, but it was interesting, I guess. And you know, their auto chess is, I guess, different than the other ones because it plays a little bit different. Can you discuss the things that you mentioned during the summit? No. So the last thing I want to talk about is a game called... There's a helicopter outside, you guys can hear. Before my internet starts lagging again, I gotta hurry up. So, Warcraft 3 Reforged, you know, full steam ahead, beta is out. I have the beta, which I'm gonna be streaming, by the way. I'm gonna be learning Warcraft 3, which should be a lot of fun. They said that the announcement date is still not clear, but I'm guessing it's gonna be like summer 2020. I'm guessing. This is not official or unofficial told to me, but that's what I'm guessing. Maybe like May, June, something like that, because now they're just playtesting the 2 races, and then they still have to playtest Night Elves and Undeads, and yeah. From, you know, people that are very into Warcraft 3, they said that the beta seems unpolished and not even close to being ready for, you know, to sell it. So yeah, that's my guess. Now let's talk about StarCraft. It said December 31st, 2019. No, it didn't. They said they don't have an announcement date. Like, I was literally there. What do you mean? So, StarCraft 2. Now, I was at the StarCraft 2 summit. I can't tell you guys, you know, what happened there. We didn't have to sign NDAs or anything like that. It's just, you know, I don't want to discuss things that were said there. The things that I can tell you guys is I know that it is not Blizzard's focus on StarCraft as a moneymaker or as a product that they're trying to push. And this is something I feel like everyone knows already. I mean, we've kind of known that for 2-3 years now. So I don't think this is going to come, you know, as a shock to anyone. What I can tell you is that StarCraft, regarding how big it is and how well it's doing from the stuff that Blizzard is making, whether it's war chests or co-op, I can tell you that there will be more, and I can tell you that you know, Blizzard is satisfied with how that's going. The player base is extremely stable for the past 3-4 years. Well, since it became free to play, it's extremely stable. Like I can't remember the exact numbers, so I'm not gonna give them. But let's say like over the past 2.5 years or 3 years, we lost like 100 average players or something like that, or average monthly logins, which the number is, you know, over 1 million, actually even more. But yeah, so the player base is stable. So we talked about that. They announced, StarCraft 2 announced the new co-op commander Mengsk, and from what I've seen, it has some really cool features. Again, I didn't get to play it, but I'm sure there's going to be videos about that on YouTube that you guys can check out. There's like the mini. I already saw like a couple of people showing how the units are working, but from what I know, and you guys know I'm not huge into co-op. The new kind of special thing about Mengsk is whenever the units die, they drop their weapons. So then the new units that you make can pick up those weapons, which I thought was pretty cool. And apparently there's like the nukes that are auto-making, and there's something new with the siege tanks. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So from what I've understood, which again, I'm not 100% sure, basically when you get units, you equip them with weapons, and then when they die, instead of remaking the weapons, you can just pick them up and keep going. So those are the things I can tell you. Blizzard is satisfied where StarCraft is. There will not be any huge announcements, which again, or huge announcements regarding StarCraft 2, which you guys probably already knew, right? I don't think this is a secret. We haven't really had any big announcements in the past 2-3 years for StarCraft 2 since Legacy of the Void, and I guess since StarCraft 2 became free to play. But there will be more content, and again, I don't have any official information regarding WCS or GSL. You know, if it's going to be happening, how many of them are going to be happening, I don't know. But I do know that there will be StarCraft in one way or another. So that's it. So yeah, like I said, overall, my BlizzCon experience, I had a bunch of fun. I don't want to, you know, keep this going for too much longer. I had a lot of fun. Met a bunch of people, you know, met up with a bunch of people that I already knew but never saw in real life. I felt like the 2 days were too, you know, short of a period of time to spend there. I felt like I could have probably spent 2-3 more days that had a bunch of stuff I could have done. BlizzCon's huge, so there's a bunch of things you can do. There was also a Blizzard Arcade, a new thing they announced at BlizzCon that was happening at BlizzCon, where you could go and play all the old games. So you could play Warcraft 1, Lost Vikings, Warcraft 2, Diablo 1, Diablo 2, which I thought was pretty cool. A lot of people, you know, went there, played it, kind of, you know, old memories and stuff like that. So yeah. Will there ever be StarCraft 3? I don't know. They didn't mention that to me, and even if they did, I couldn't tell you. But did you discuss balance? What was their feeling/point of view? So we did, yes and no. I'm gonna talk about that another time. Probably, I think tomorrow we're gonna be discussing that regarding balance. I talked a lot with Cyril, which again I'm gonna be talking, you know, about it with you guys as well. But yeah. So for you guys, again, I really do apologize for the stream quality and YouTube quality in the recent times. I thought it is the Twitch servers because that's how it started. I will contact Twitch. I will contact my internet provider, try to figure it out so there's no more issues, because again, now it's absolutely fine and then it just goes to derp. So I don't know. I'm going to try to figure it out. There's plenty of more content to be had on my channel. So right after this, we're going to be talking about AlphaStar versus me at BlizzCon. We're going to talk about balance tomorrow and a bunch of different things. But yeah, that's my experience at BlizzCon. Did you meet the town hall guy? I met the town hall guy. He was there and I fired him myself. I told him to pack his shit and go home. I don't want to see his face. And he got flown out home the same day. That's it. So town hall guy is no more. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, apologies again for the video quality. I will try my best. Let me know what you thought about BlizzCon trailers, announcements. Thank you for watching. For you guys on Twitch, let's keep going, baby. Let's keep going.